Barking FC TV here with manager Craig Edwards. Craig, first of all, welcome back to another season at the Maysbrook Park. And firstly, we haven't spoke since the end of the season. What was your overall review of last year's campaign?
Bit mixed, really. I thought our own form was fantastic. Going forward, superb. Scored most goals in the league, had the best goal difference, but defensively, until the last perhaps couple of months, 2-3 months, wasn't good enough. Let in far too many goals. But when Omar came in, without having to dramatically change the side, I think we went for 11 goals in 16 games, which had we had that sort of early in the season, that sort of figures, then I think there's every chance we would have won it. There was obviously winning the cup was nice, and playoff final, one of those games I thought could have gone either way. In a way, very similar to the cup final. We won it 1-0. They won the playoff final 1-0. And I'd sooner it had been the other way round, but it wasn't to be. And it's so overall a bit disappointed. But there was lots of factors in there. Everyone tipped us to struggle because we lost, I think, 16 of the 20 players from the year before. And we had a better side last year. And I'm sure that this year we'll have a better side again.
During the break, it's been announced that we've lost Shaka and Charlie, two key players to our squad. Last year, as you mentioned, we lost quite a few of our key players. Do you believe yet again that you can strengthen upon last year's squad and make it better?
100%. And with all due respect to the two lads, last year, like I say, we lost 16. Out of those 16, 2 of them I thought had decent moves and did well at their new clubs.
Mm-hmm.
14 had poor seasons. So, they always think the grass is greener. Some of them, they get a bit deluded, think they're better than what they are, and it doesn't happen. Regarding the 2 boys, Charlie, when I first came here, he was on loan as a centre half at Man Baker, and he started the season as a centre half. I didn't think physically he was ready to be a centre half at this level. He will be as he gets older and gets stronger. But I see a very good central defensive midfield player in there. And I thought early on he looks a little bit like a fish out of water. But he's got so many attributes. He's a good player, he's intelligent, makes good run, and he picks things up quickly. And with Charlie, it's like building an house. And I feel that last year we built the foundation. And this year I was looking forward to sort of really pushing him on levels. And I thought he would have got a good move by the end of the season. But I think he needed another season in there, and to sort of, if you like, take his game on to the next level. But he decided he wanted to go to Whitstable. So fair play to him. Is it a good move? I don't think so. With all due respects, in the arse end of nowhere, and he'd get more exposure here playing. And but I hope it goes well for him, because he's a great lad, got a good family, and he wants to try his luck at that level, and I think he's definitely good enough. But I think if he'd have stayed another year, he would have jumped a couple of levels. Now whether he can still do that, I hope so, but I don't think it's a great move for him. But that's just a personal thing. On Shaka, I was told about Shaka, and I wasn't naive enough to know it, that he'll go up the road for an extra tenner all the time. And they've made him a very good offer. We can't. They're throwing money about, left, right, and centre. They've got players that we couldn't afford, like Hassan and Scott Doe over there. They're on big money. So they've made him an improved offer, which, fair play. It's his prerogative. He wants to go. It's disappointing when our chairman, the only reason I say his chairman, has really helped him out when he was injured. And I think it's just you've got to show a little bit of loyalty back. You know, sure, if he wanted, anyone can go. They want to go to a new club, they welcome to go to a new club. It's their choice. But when someone's helped you out, like the chairman helped him out, I think it's really in poor taste to go for a few quid extra. And at the end of the day, we scored 109 competitive goals last year. Shaka scored 13 in 30 games. So can we replace that? I think we can. I think we can replace 13 goals comfortably. So it is what it is. You know, I was disappointed the way he left. And it was after he signed, like a day after he signed, 1 day after. So, you know, it did leave a bit of taste in my mouth, the way it was done. Got a call from them the next day, and within half hour it was on social media. So, you know, that's how they want to operate. That's fine. That's their business, and we'll see how that works out for them.
Sort of looking on to the next season, but also reviewing the last with this question. Last year, I felt if we played every team on AstroTurf, we would have probably won the league, because I think we was probably the best footballing side in the division. However, when we went to grass pitches away from home, our record was we played 16, won 5, lost 7, and drew 4. That has to be a target to improve, because to win promotion, you've got to be able to play on grass in this league.
Without that, you know, and but there's a lot of factors. I mean, that's one you've nailed on, and you can't argue with it. You can't dispute it. Also, like I say, we went for too many goals early in the seasons, which a lot of it was, like I say, like you said, on the grass pitches. Yeah, so there are areas we definitely have to improve on, you know, and yeah, I mean, there were, like, for instance, another big reasons was Folksy, you know, our captain. I think he played 13 of the 38 games, and that was because of his work, you know, commitments. And do I think would he have made a difference of 10 points? We lost the league by 10 points. If we'd have got 10 points more, with a goal difference, everything else, we'd have won the league. So would that have made a difference, 10 points in the 25 games you missed? I think without a doubt. Because I think part of the reason we lost those games was early season. I didn't think we were strong enough defensively, you know, and it was that triangle between the goalkeeper and the two centre halves. Once I thought when we had Folksy available, and Mo and Tala, when they came into it, I think that things changed quite dramatically, like on the grass pitches, away pitches. But I thought early on we were pretty young. We got bullied a little bit on those pitches, and tended to be against similar type of sides. You know, that will play long ball and two big physical forwards, and we found it difficult. You know, and there was no getting away from it. But I think we addressed it as the season went on, and we got really decent, you know, on the grass pitches, and yeah, but obviously we're looking to start the season a lot better than we did last year.
And then lastly, again, looking on to the new season, the squad this year. Obviously, last year we had a massive turnover. I'm guessing you're hoping that won't happen again, and we can build and improve.
I think there'll be a big turnover again. You know, I think it always happens. You know, where we're located. I spoke to the chairman. He said, if we'd have gone up and won the playoff final, I don't think it made a blind bit of difference. I've gone up with teams, and when they're in that London area, you go up, and it's not a case everyone wants to stay. They all think they can go and move on to bigger and better things, which some of them do. So, you know, I wouldn't knock any player's ambition. You know, that if they want to go. I mean, like I say, the two boys that moved on to better things last year, fantastic for them. You know, and I'm really pleased for them. There will be I think there'll be quite a bit of a changeover, but you've seen today we had 33 in training. All good players. We've signed some really good players, you know, and we'll be a good team without a shadow of doubt. And we're at the stage, we're at the stage now where with pre-season starting, and you'll get a lot of these players, they go trialling at whatever level, and within a couple of weeks, they quickly realise they're not going to get games. So they'll be looking for clubs, and the standard of player that becomes available generally gets better as pre-season wears on. you know. But you've seen the boys how fit and how hard they work today, and I'm very optimistic about the new season. You know, we know it's going to be a really tough league. Haybridge look like they've recruited really well. They look strong. You've got Clapton coming in. You know, we've got huge support. Hutton, good side. Plus all the the usual suspects from last year. Plus there's a few, like I said, spending big, and you'd expect them to be really pushing. So it looks like a really good competitive league. But yeah, one that I'm sort of relishing, and I think that we'll be up there challenging for sure.
And then lastly, I deliberately left this one till last. One more player we lost over the summer, somebody that's been here for quite a few years, a big character around the place, and was quite an important player the last few seasons. He played for Barking, Sammy Edwards. You thought,
Yeah, great player, Sammy. Sammy's, technically he was our best player. You know, he was, but Sammy knows how I wanted to play, and I think he found it hard after Christmas, and Sammy, he don't like not playing, which is what you want really. But he got a bit salty with it, and he's with his business and everything. He's had to sort of turn it in. It weren't like he's gone to another club or anything. But he's a fantastic footballer. We all know what a good footballer he is, and yeah, he was a big character here, and but we're gonna, and I think anyone would suffer losing his ability. But where you might lose there, you gain in other areas that Sam's not so good at, and but yeah, that'd be a loss for us, but one that we'll replace, not like for like, we'll go a different way, and yeah, I wish Sammy all the best with his new family, because he's got the young babies, and his business. But he's already been on the phone to me. He's helped me out with a player, who's come in, who's very, very good. So yeah, wish Sammy well, and anyone else who decides they want to go, wish them well and hope it goes well. But life goes on. There's thousands and thousands of players out there, and I won't be losing sleep anyone who goes. So.
Right, cheers, Craig. Thank you.
Cheers, Reece. Thank you.